Oh, hi there. Welcome to my review of this Hisense 65-inch 4K Ultra HD Smart TV. It is a monster. Let's check it out. Hi there, welcome to my review of this Hisense 65-inch 4K Ultra HD TV, model number H65N5300. We'll start with a few tech specs. So in terms of size wise, this TV measures up 146 centimeters by 84 centimeters tall, so it is an absolute monster. 65 inches of TV you get in with a very little small bezel around the outside. In terms of the viewing angle, what you'd expect, 178 degrees. That means that I can stand here over the other side of the TV and still see the TV just as clear as what I would be by sitting in front of it. In terms of the resolution, it's 3840 by 2160, which basically means it's Ultra HD 4K TV. Now, what is 4K? What is Ultra HD? We've already got HD, so what's the difference? Now at the moment, there is a few providers out there that provide 4K Ultra HD TV viewing, like Netflix, Sky also. Most of the mainstream at the moment don't support 4K Ultra HD. That's not necessarily a problem, because what this TV does is it upscales your current picture to a 4K picture. So if you're watching your TV in HD, you'll get it in a 4K upscaled Ultra HD picture. So that means that it'll be a better picture than what you've got before. Okay, so let's talk about connections. This TV's got bags of them. It's got 3 HDMI ports, 2 USB ports, an LNB connection for your satellite feed. It's also got an aerial feed in there, also got a LAN connection, so if you wanted to wire the internet to the TV, more about that in a bit. It's also got an optical in cable as well as built-in Wi-Fi. Now, two things to mention. Two things that it doesn't have is it doesn't have SCART connection. It does have an AV connection, but it doesn't have a SCART connection, so it's just worth considering that with some of the old consoles. Maybe if you've got an old DVD player or something, it's worth just noting that you will have to change your connection for that. The other notable omission, in my opinion, is that it's got no Bluetooth built in. Bluetooth is good for things like if you wanted to connect external speakers, maybe a sound bar or something like that. So it doesn't have no Bluetooth and no SCART. So speaking of Wi-Fi, what this TV also is a smart TV. Now what that means is it can connect to the internet, either via the Wi-Fi or via a LAN cable which goes into the back of the TV. What that does is it opens a world of different apps, streaming services, and other games and music services to your fingertips. One of the main ones is Freeview Play. Now what Freeview Play is it's a catch-up service that isn't payable. So with the Freeview Play you can access things like the BBC iPlayer, ITV Hub, All 4, Demand 5, as well as UK TV Play as well, which gives you channels such as Dave. Really great interface to work with, I'll show you it shortly. As well as that, you've also got your streaming services, so things like Netflix, Amazon Prime Video, as well as YouTube. One notable absence though is Now TV. So if you've got a Now TV subscription, you won't be able to access that via the built-in apps, via the App Store. What you would need is a separate box for that. So it is just worth noting that it doesn't come with any kind of built-in Now TV, which I know some of the other TVs available on the market do. You can also surf the internet on the TV. So whether it's you want to look at the latest news or latest entertainment, sports, all via the internet, all in glorious 4K Ultra HD TV, you can do that as well. Now you've also got a built-in app store. There are numerous apps on there. However, what I would say is, very much like other TV providers, the apps are probably not as polished as what you'd expect. So there are some music apps on there are some games on there are some general sort of BBC apps on there as well, where you can access your sport, your news, etc. As well, another element of the smart TV is the ability to cast from it, or cast to it should I say. Now if you're not familiar with what casting is essentially streaming something from your tablet or phone onto the TV, whether that's you've got photos on your tablet or your phone, whether you've got videos on there you wish to play, and it does it in such an easy way where you just simply connect your phone to the TV and then you're just able to showcase what's on your phone or what's on your tablet straight onto the TV. Another fantastic feature it's got on this TV is if you've got any local networked drives or networked hard drives or anything like that, it can also connect to those as well. So again, you know, if like me, you've got all your family photos stored on a network hard drive, or if you've got some films that maybe you've downloaded previously, you can access that hard drive remotely using the television, and also then play them directly onto the TV. So there's no need to load them onto a USB stick, for example, which it still has the facility to do so, but there's no need to do that if you've got a network drive, because you can access them directly from that. So what I want to do now is I just want to go through the remote with you. So if you just take a brief look at the remote, I'll just try and go a little bit closer in for you. You can see that the remote design is incredibly simple. So what you've got is you've got a couple of shortcut buttons at the bottom to things like Netflix, YouTube, as well as you've got your home button in the middle. You've also got exit back, your typical up, down, left, right and OKs. You've got your settings button, and you've also got your input button. So if I just press the input button, for example, that will then bring up the input screen. Now if I go a little bit closer in for you now, you can see that first of all you've got the HDMI cable that's going into it, which is what I'm currently on. You've also got the next option, which is the anytime casting service, and then you've got some slightly shaded out options there, so your things like your TV, your AV, your component. Now the reason they're greyed out is because there's no current input going into them. So again, keeps it incredibly simple. You know exactly which ones you can click on and which ones you can't, because there's no power going into them, and then it keeps it simple for you. Again, if I go back to the settings button, so if I press the settings button, what that does is it brings up a little side menu, a quick setup menu. So you'll have some of the history of what you've been on previously, so you can go back into them if you want to change something. It's also got a quite handy function called audio only. Now what's this for, I thought? So when I pressed it, what it does is it turns off your TV and it will just play the audio. So if, for example, you're late at night and you don't want a big glare on the TV but you want to listen to what's going on, then you can just press audio only and it will just play the audio for you. When you're ready to go back to main screen, you just press the OK button and it'll go back onto your main screen. If I just scroll a bit further down now, you can go into the all section, and that will bring up your main settings menu. So things like your different picture modes, your color saturation, your brightness, what ratio you want your aspect to be, advanced picture settings, which again will give you different things. Again, easily just to go back straight from the menu, back into the main menu, across, down to your sound, down to your channel settings. So if you're using the Freeview HD function, how to scan them, looking at your network connection through to your system. So again, just to exit out of that, you'd simply press the exit button and it goes back onto your main TV. Just by doing that, you can see how quick the interface is and how slick it is. You're not having to wait long periods for it to think about what it's doing. It goes straight back into where you need it to go to, and you're ready to watch TV. So what I'm going to do with you now is I'm just going to go through with you the apps and the smart TV side of the TV. These can be accessed by pressing the home button on your remote, which brings up your home menu. So if I just go up to the top and start at the very beginning, you start off with your Freeview Play. So as mentioned previously, these are things such as your BBC iPlayer, ITV Hub, Demand 5, your UK Play TV. So if we just go into, let's say, UK Play TV, for example, brings up a nice interface. Again, you can just scroll down, scroll left, right, go on to what you want to watch, and you go on to it. Ultimately as well, if we just exit back out of that and go to Freeview Explore, combines all of the different Freeview Play functions into one simple interface. Really easy to use. You can either choose by what different player you want to go and have a look for movies, or ultimately you can look through the whole things, and then you just go onto it, click on, and it loads it straight up. So if I just go back into the menu, now if I just scroll down, your next option is your apps. So things like your Netflix, your Amazon Video, your YouTube, as well as the ability to surf the internet as well. You've got a game center where you can play games. You've got the TV browser, which is your internet browser. And then if you go to the next option is the App Store. So this is the App Store. Now, as mentioned earlier, the App Store is a kind of a hit and miss for me. There is the ability to just filter it by UK apps or whatever language you speak, and it'll bring up just the apps that are suitable to your language. However, what I would say is some of the apps are probably ones that you'd never even dream of. Other ones you may find useful. I know there's a lot of music apps on here, so radio stations that you can listen to. Likewise, there's a few different types of games on here as well. There's also some informational type apps such as your BBC News. Really, it just depends on what you're into. So, what's my overall view? If I start by talking about the picture is absolutely fantastic. It really is. I've watched streaming services in 4K. I've watched some of the YouTube in 4K. I've watched the iPlayer Beta in 4K, and seeing those and the detail it gives you in pure 4K gets me really excited about some of the content that's going to be coming available over the coming months in 4K. Equally, what I would say is that those channels in HD, when they're upscaled to 4K, are just as impressive as well. It really is a nice, clear picture. The minimal design, I love the minimal design. I've mentioned it previously in the review as well. I love the fact that the bezel is really small, so what you just see is just TV. I've had TVs in the past where there's been speakers attached to the sides, where it's been large on the top and the bottom, and what that does is I think it sometimes takes away the TV itself. So the fact that it's minimal, the legs are quite modern looking as well. It is that glossy black colour. I think it really stands out as looking like a quality TV. In terms of the connections at the back, fantastic set of connections as well. So your 3 HDMI ports, your 2 powered USB ports. You've also got the LAN and the built-in Wi-Fi as well, whereas I know some TVs actually charge you for an additional Wi-Fi adapter, so the fact it's got built-in is fantastic. I also love the fact that it's got built-in cast as well as the ability to find out your network hard drives that are on any network as well. Really makes it simple to be connected to your home, so really taking account of that connected home. A couple of things I don't like. I'm really disappointed that it didn't have Bluetooth built in. Now, some people may never need Bluetooth. I think the fact that it misses Bluetooth for me is probably something that really goes against it in terms of retrofitting. So people that want a soundbar, for example, may not necessarily want a wired soundbar, particularly if they're putting it on their walls. Modern day now is there's a lot of Bluetooth soundbars around that will connect to your TV via Bluetooth. Unfortunately, in this instance, those won't be supported by this TV because it doesn't have that built-in Bluetooth. Another thing that I'm kind of unsure about whether it's a negative or a positive is the interface. For me, I like the detail. I like getting in there, I like seeing all the different functions you can change around, that you can do. The interface for this is incredibly simple, which is good in one way because you know exactly where you go, you know exactly what you're doing. I think the danger with a simple interface is sometimes it gives the impression that it may not be as high quality as what it should be. And I think that's harsh on Hisense, because I think this TV, the reason you buy a TV is for the picture first and foremost. For me, the picture is cracking, as I've mentioned earlier. The fact that it's got built-in streaming services such as Netflix, as well as dedicated buttons on the remote, does exactly what I want it to do. However, I just feel that it's kind of left itself a little bit short in terms of the interface being a bit too simple for the TV and for how premium this TV is. Not necessarily a negative of the TV, but I think for me personally, I would have seen a bit more effort put into the interface of it. Overall, I think the TV's cracking. I really enjoyed watching it so far. My children have actually loved watching it so far. I think it's amazing how the size of it. Not sure whether it's going to stay on the unit or actually go onto the wall yet. That's something to be decided. But yeah, what I would say is if you're looking for a TV that is probably not as expensive as some of the others out there, but it still gives you that good quality, I'd look at the Hisense 65-inch 4K Ultra HD TV. Oh, while she's still there, just want to say a massive thank you to the team at AO.com. They've given me this TV to review today. What they've asked for me in return is an honest review, and that's hopefully what you've got from me today. What I would say while I'm here though is in terms of the delivery, the service received from AO.com, I've had products from them before and I've had absolutely top-notch service from them, hence the reason why I'm happy to recommend them both as an individual and also as a blogger as well. Thanks very much AO.com, see you next time.